Happy Wednesday, folks. It's
How's it going, guys?
again for On the Clock with KBN, presented by the Idle Zone Syndicate. With me, as always, is Bad Brad Van Riet. Joining us tonight, KBN Tournament Director Travis Birch. Welcome, Travis.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm glad you got an evening off, man.
Yeah, work's been a little hectic. I'm burning the candle at both ends, put it that way.
I understand. Totally. Jumping right into it, guys. Kansas Buddy Bass was at Palmy last weekend. And they had another great event for our new partners, Kansas Buddy Bass. Just real quick, got a couple of pictures here. Something that Brad came up with that we're going to start doing probably the next show. We're going to get whatever tournament we have that month, that week, whatever. We're going to try and get the winners to come on for a few minutes and talk a little bit about how they won the tournament, if they'll tell us. So congratulations to Adam and Micah. Just real quick, guys, if you didn't see it, here was how it turned out. 1583 with a 569 largemouth. Good night, a 691 at Palmy in July. That's pretty awesome.
That's amazing.
Nice turnout, and looks like about typical Palmy weights for this time of year. But we're on to Frank Stong Memorial Scholarship event time.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so that's this weekend, which is August 2nd. So looks like we're taking off. Kiblinger and Nolte and all them made the I guess the official rule, or not the official rules per se, but the registration paper. So it looks like we're going to be going safe light, which is going to be roughly 6 a.m. ish until 2 p.m. And then there's going to be hot dogs and chips served at the weigh-in, thanks to Cherryville Bassmasters, which is joined KBN again, which is great. If you show up early, pay the $50 at the entry fee. We're also going to give everybody one of these to use, not to keep, because I need these for my pro tour, because sometimes we go to lakes like Caddo, and that's where I got this idea. Is we got these cool gator grips from the Golden Rule, and they have a length and a weight on them. I don't know. Let's see if I can. Let me turn on the light a little bit. So, for an example, they have, for every measurement, they have length and weight. So, just to give an example, a 15-inch or a 17-inch fish is 2 pounds, 12 ounces on here. So that makes it where we can do a summertime tournament for Frank Stong, because everybody knows that it's a 21-inch minimum length limit there. So anything under 21 inches, you're going to measure it on this board, take a photo, and whatever that weight says is your weight for that fish. And if you bring in fish over 21 inches, we will weigh them and add that to it. So that way we have fish pictures and everybody gets to report something.
Very important part. Yes, reiterating what Travis just said. 21 inches and over, throw it in the live well.
Yep.
Go weigh it, and we can get pictures of it. Awesome.
Yep.
I think the limit's one fish.
Is it one fish over 21?
I think
so. Your biggest fish over 21 inches.
Right. And then the rest will be on the board, on paper, so to speak.
Yep.
I fished one of the clubs I fished for years and years and years. We fished everything on the board like that. Everything.
Yep.
And, we know sooner or later you're going to catch a great big old chunk and you're going to go, gosh, that fish weighs more than that. And the next thing you know, you're going to catch a torpedo. But in the end, it all works out. And the other thing is, remember, guys, this is a benefit. This is a benefit for our scholarship fund. The winners are going to get their name on a plaque, but they're not going to win a ton of money like the guys at Palm de Terre won $1,800 and some odd dollars. That's all of our entry fees are going into the tournament. I mean, into the scholarship fund. So we'll have door prizes, we'll have some hot dogs and stuff. But I fished on the board before. We just wrote everything down and took everybody's word for it. But with today's cell phones, it's really simple to snap pictures. So we'll get it done. We'll get it taken care of. It'll work just fine, and we'll have a great day.
Yeah, it's all for a good cause. I mean, I think I'm looking at this paper right now, and it says 30 scholarships have been awarded, totaling $24,000 since 2012. So that's pretty cool feat.
Yep. And yesterday, just to go along with that, we did a little on the AutoZone. We did a little bit of challenge, and I think right now the last time I looked was they got $320 worth of my money.
Nice.
My wife and I's money anyway. And anybody who wants to donate, it's really simple. You can go to PayPal. You go to ksbassnation@gmail.com, and in comments, put that it's a donation, and we'll put it directly into the scholarship fund.
Which is awesome, because now kids in Kansas don't even have to go to school in Kansas, because as we know, like Bila and all those guys went out of state to go to school. So now our Kansas kids can apply and go fish wherever they want. And and it's not only for fishermen.
Right. No, it's any KBN member or family member of a KBN member. And the other thing I would say is remember, this is not just limited to what we would consider to be college or university. If you're going to go to a VOTEC school, if you're going to do something like that, we're more than happy to take your application and put it in. It's trying to advance the future of our members or the family of our members.
For sure.
So you're going to be down there. You're going to have everything set up.
Yep, so I actually have the Lady Bass Anglers tournament the Wednesday, Thursday before down at Grand Lake. So I'm going to hook that trailer up and tow it straight to good old Big Hill. Rent a little campsite to park it in for a couple days, like I did last time I had to stage it there. And then come tournament morning, I'll have it set up just like last year. We'll drop the stage down. We'll collect everybody's entries and give them all a thing to write their weights on and their fish on, and then the pictures just in case somebody wants to raise, what shouldn't happen in a charity tournament, right? Especially since there's no money being awarded. But I was just going to recommend everybody take a picture of their fish, because that's how we do it on the ladies' side when they're fishing for money when we went to Caddo. But it's for a good cause, so I would really hope nobody would be trying to cheat for a good cause.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. And you already have experience with doing this, and that's the great thing. You've already done it. So we don't have to worry about reinventing the wheel. You've already got it.
Yeah, and that was honestly thanks to the Women Pro Bass Tour, because they already had these little cards made up in the trailer. I didn't even have to go make a form or cards, and because they had been to Caddo 3 or 4 times. And so once I saw the forms, I was like, well, I'll just copy and paste that for Caddo again. And because Caddo has a weird rule, you can't put a fish in the boat between 14 and 18.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you know how we're always trying to get that fish to reach, right?
Yeah.
If that fish touches 14 inches, you got to throw it back. So now you're like trying to get the fish to like not make it.
Yeah. I fished a couple of lakes that have like a 13 to 18 limit.
Yep.
And they're really not that bad, because you can keep like per person 5 fish under 13 inches, and those are not that bad eating.
Right. That's the right size to eat if you're going to eat them.
You don't have to worry about, oh gosh, I had to be, over 18 inches before you can eat them. I'd rather eat a 12 and a half inch fish.
Yep. That's what I tell people. I'd prefer to keep, if I'm going to keep a bass to eat, I'd want it to really be probably under 13 inches.
Yeah.
kind of that 10 or 11 to 13 inch range has enough meat that's worth cleaning and not, we're dealing with that at Lake Dabanawa. Our population is, last year we had Hunter French, come up since he graduated for fish conservation. He came up and ran the shock boat, and they gave us some, ideas and stuff here. But one thing that me and Hunter did that day while we were out there, he goes, "You want to just throw anything under 14 in a bucket?" we filled a lot of buckets, and all I gotta say is the fish are looking a lot healthier this year. So there's something to having a little bit of conservation. Sometimes you need to keep.
Yeah, they a biologist one time explained it to me that any given body of water, depending upon how fertile it is or sterile it is, can handle X number of pounds of fish or bass. So in a oversimplified condition, you could have 100 1-pound bass, or you could have 50 2-pound bass, or you could have 25 4-pound bass, but the water is only going to hold X number of pounds per acre.
Yep.
And so if you're stunted on the low end, you remove those, and that's going to let those larger fish move on up the chain, and you'll still get recruitment because they'll still be spawning.
Yep. One thing they also did was when they put them on the board, there was like kind of like this board, right? It had a weight for the measurements, right? So it was like if it fell, let's say on this board, for an example, a 14-inch fish is 1 pound, 8 ounces, right? So if it was like under 1.5, 1.6, you hold it. And if it was healthy or close to healthy, you kept it. So anything that was above healthy, you kept those, because that's a good breeding stock. That's kind of the Texas mindset, right? Keep your good breeders in the lake and get rid of the scrawny ones, right?
Yeah. Yep. Cool. So at the Stone, we're going to be at the what's the dam?
Mound Valley Boat Ramp is what it says on the thing, which I believe is the one that's at the ramp, right?
Yeah, it's the one at the dam on the east side of the dam. You'll be set up. We can look for that. We'll have a couple of people there. We will pay at the ramp. You'll have to provide a signature real quick.
Yep.
And, just saying that you're voluntarily participating. And then we'll also have raffle tickets. Everybody's going to get a raffle ticket. We're not selling raffle tickets. You get a raffle ticket just by showing up. We'll give away what we got. Jeff Nolte and Richard Kiblinger have been running around chasing things down. So they've got some stuff coming. I know that I think Richard Fitzwater was going to get some stuff. He's a member of the Cherryvale Club. Cherryvale's going to have the hamburgers and stuff. I talked to Mark Moody. He's going to have a couple of gift certificates. I've got to go to Albers on Saturday and pick up. They've got a gift certificate or two, plus Moody's dropping his off there. And so we're going there on Saturday to get that done. Danny and I have to meet up on Friday to exchange the plaque. He's got the plaque in Hutchinson and is not going to be able to be at the Stone. So we're going to meet up at El Dorado and hopefully we get an opportunity. We're going to drop in at Russell Marine Products, who's been a sponsor and a help to the KBN in years past. And who knows, maybe we'll get them to give us a little giveaway of something. I mean, if it's a gallon of oil, the guy shows up and fishes and has fun and walks away with a gallon of oil. Who's mad about that?
For sure. Nobody wants for a good cause, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you are on your phone on the podcast and you get a phone call.
Oh,
yeah, blows you off the screen. Guys messaging me how to watch the show. It's like, well, I'm on my phone on the show. So
I am now on my phone and I've not been blown off.
good.
I'm back off my phone.
Get off your phone.
All right, I'm off.
You're so literal.
I know.
I'm gonna throw the graphic back up there. if you want to make a donation, you can attend. You're not able to be there, man. There's the PayPal, kansasbassnation@gmail.com. Just make a donation. A simple donation is just an entry. That's $50.
Yep.
Brad, you said you got some odd numbers last night on the.
Well, I ended up getting a couple of notices from Mike today that a couple of the PayPal payments have landed, and one was for $20. And hey, who cares? We'll take any amount is helpful. So I think with what we saw that was pledged last night, plus I wasn't expecting the 20. We should have about $320 that we've got to the that'll go into in the fund. And then, like I said, Mary and I had pledged we would match anything up to $500. So there'll be another 320. Anything else that trickles in along that line, because Kistler said he was going to have his donation at ours that I could pick up on Saturday. So anyway.
Nice. And like Danny said, it's a $50 entry is a nice donation, but even if you can't do it, I mean, $5, $10, $20,
anything.
You got a lot of money, donate $100 or $200. It all is going to a kid for the scholarship fund. So
yes.
How many did we give away last year, Brad? Do you remember? Was it 3 or 4?
We gave away 4. It was a total of $4,000.
Nice.
That was tiered. We just so people know, we have a selection committee. We accept applications. They submit their application with letters of reference and an essay, and then the committee kind of looks at it and they kind of use a point system to determine, okay, we think this one is worth the most, this the second, this the third, this is the fourth. And then the club representatives at the fall meeting, at the spring meeting, they decide how much we're going to spend and to how many people we're going to get. So last year it was $4,000 to 4 recipients, and that was tiered. The person who they determined had the most deserving, I'll say, application got more, and the fourth person it went down from there. But $4,000, and I will also say that that if you've received it in the past, or if you've made application in the past, when we start, it'll be this fall before we start pushing it again. Apply again. This is a one-time, 1 year type of an award, and next year it's all open again. We've had some people that have won it 2 or 3 times, and so it's again it's a good thing. It's probably not perfect, but then most of us are not perfect.
Nobody's perfect, Brad.
We're just trying to do the best we can to provide, and this is, again, remember, this is 100% for the KBN and KBN members and their families. So,
and done by 100% volunteers.
Yes, 100% volunteers.
Circling back through the comments there, got some of our regular viewers, and Brian joined us tonight. Brian Head, thank you, Brian. Of course, Devin. Hi, Devin. See, I put it back on YouTube. There you go. Dominic. Dominic, I'm sitting here with the traveling trophy, or the trophy with the plaque with the event winners on it. I do not see Dominic Cabot listed there. I I I don't see Dominic.
Sounds like a challenge.
It's funny. There are three guys on here twice, and one guy three times, and that's in 10 years.
Interesting. Who's the guy three times?
Mac Hale.
Okay. Who's the guy? Who's the one on there twice?
Brian Failer, Sonny Sprague, and Kyle Kister are each on here twice.
So that's 9 out of the 10. Who's the last person?
Well, you know what? 2017, a pair of familiar names, Rick Mull and Jeff Nolte. Who are
Nice.
those?
Wow.
Some board members.
Yeah.
2020, Chris Brimmager, Blake Nowick.
Mm-hmm.
2021, Randy Kelly. 2022, Cody Goins, Cody Rexwinkle. And then last year, a couple of guys that just jackpotted in and got lucky, I guess. Somebody named Mark Moody and John Stewart won last year.
Yep.
But no Dominic.
After singing national anthem and going out boat number 1.
Yeah.
Is John fishing it this year?
I believe so.
Awesome.
He will be there. I'm not sure that if he's rounded up a partner or not. There a couple conflicts came up at the last minute. He was planning to do it with his granddaughter, and that their time off and his time off kind of got sideways. So you know how that goes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. What else do we need to cover about the Stong? I'm just going to throw the graphic back up.
Probably be a good time to talk about who Frank was and why we do, or, why we have this memorial scholarship in his name.
Brad.
Well, so Frank Stong, years and years and years ago, was a board member. He was the tournament director for several years. I never had the chance to know him. He was gone before I got into the KBN. But
passed of cancer, I believe.
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
But way back in the mid 2000s, our scholarship program had been through a state university, and they were in charge of it. We put money in there. They were in charge of it, and we wanted to kind of bring it in-house and do a little bit more hands-on, make it a little bit more for us type of deal, because it was basically open to anybody who was enrolled at that college, so long as they had a certain major. So when we were looking at what were we going to call this, the name Frank Stong came up and came up and came up and came up, and his son was the immediate past president, Eric Stong, who now lives in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And so then John Stewart gave me quite a bit of information. John has mentioned before, I'll try not to put words into his mouth, but he's mentioned before that Frank Stong was a mentor of his. And when you can have a career like John Stewart has had and accomplish the things that John Stewart has accomplished, and to say that this was an individual who was a mentor, this is why we decided to name it the Frank Stong Memorial Scholarship. I guess he was a big giver, was always giving things to kids, was always stopping on the side of the road and helping people. Just an overall good individual who it just seemed right that when so many people were mentioning his name, that we would name it after him, a past member. And so that's who he is, or was. That's who he was, and that's how we got to the name.
It's kind of amazing. I've heard John tell the story multiple times. Started truck driving or delivering a route or had a route or whatever. Same thing. I don't want to put words in his mouth. But it's crazy that crossing a path with somebody 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, hundreds of times if it's in fishing or whatever, literally changes your entire path.
Yes.
It's like, I wouldn't have the ladies tour if it wasn't for that. I wouldn't even have bought a bass boat if it wasn't for helping a sister-in-law and brother-in-law out when he had lost his job. I was able to pick up his boat for payments, and it was brand new. And so it's like, and I probably wouldn't have taken over the youth program, and I probably wouldn't have been looking into KBN because I didn't even know what KBN was.
Right.
But it's just crazy how stuff like that happens, right?
It is, and a perfect example again would be back to the KBB, Kansas Buddy Bass, joining the KBN this year, and Drew and his partner
John.
Putting that on, and it's made our program better. I think it's made their program better. And this is the first year. And again, it's through you crossing paths at some particular point in time with Drew that has benefited our organization greatly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad that's working out because, like I said, when I was taking over the adult director, I was like, I don't have the time to put all these tournaments on. So I can put on the qualifier and help with Stong, but outside of that, I can't really run a team series when I already have 30 events a year to run.
Right.
But
So
I'm glad to put.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And, that's probably a good way to end this evening, Travis.
Yeah.
I saw a little post the other day, and maybe you just want to tease it a little bit, or maybe you just want to talk about LBAA next week. What's up next for Travis?
You know me, I'm always full of crazy ideas. A lot of things are happening for me, honestly. I'm actually taking on another job, which is crazy, but I've got recruited to come back to help out. I used to be a tournament director for Hollywood Casino, and they need some help growing their room. So I'm actually going to go back and help them. So I've been doing a little consulting with the poker room manager, and he was like, "Hey, can you come work for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually I could." And he was like, "Wait, what?" So biting off a little bit more than I can chew. You know me, but I'll definitely. K-Guard runs itself for the most part. I got a really good staff. So K-Guard Gutter Company runs itself. So really next up is finishing out the LBAA season and finalizing my next year's schedule. I'm sure you saw the teaser post on the World Fishing Tour. Something really big is about to happen. So nobody's probably ever fished a $300 or $400 entry fee. I forgot what it is. I think it's 400, but and had a chance to win 300 grand. So
yeah.
Yeah. So no gamble, no future. Yeah. So the ladies finish up next week at Grand. I don't want to go too far into the WFT role because we're still finalizing some schedules and stuff. But yeah, so ladies go next week at Tuesday. Tuesday's the last day of official practice. So their first day of official practice is this weekend on Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday they practice, and then Wednesday, Thursday is their tournament. It is a little bit different format than normal. We usually keep 5 on the pro side, 3 on the co side, but Grand Lake has the summer restriction, so it's going to be 3 and 3. And so they'll fish. That's going to wrap up the season for LBAA, and then we will know who made the Classic, and the Classic is a no entry fee. Me, I was a little crazy and wanted to guarantee some money for first place on the pro and co side to try to grow LBAA, which I think it worked a little bit. Came nowhere close to covering, so you know me, I've got to come out of pocket for that. But
yeah, we know.
Do we have any? Are there any Kansas or gals from this area?
We do. We actually have. So Julie Nichols signed up from Kansas last year. She had saw me. I don't know how she found it, but she had saw it, and then she's actually been trying. I think she's reached out to either Brad or somebody about possibly joining one of the clubs as a pro co format because She wants to fish more, and the traveling with the LBAA is hard, right? Because we go all over the country. But she is going to be at Grand. There's 2 or 3 more that are right there on the Oklahoma-Kansas line. I can't remember who's from where. But we've got a couple more that are joining from between Tulsa and Wichita, pretty much type area.
Cool.
So
very cool.
Yeah, and it's growing. We got another new lady fishing with us next week, and so I think the LBA has huge potential. It's really hard to figure out what is the right carrot or diamond at the end of the road that really attracts a woman to come fish. It took me a year to figure out what the demographic was. I thought it was girls coming out of high school or college, or girls that were retired, women that were retired. And I didn't think about it until kind of like seeing some of the age ranges. And I was like, after you become an empty nester, you're kind of a little lost, guy and girl, right? And so I was like, there's another demographic there that I've never thought about in fishing. And it's the empty nesters, because the women raise their families more than the guys do, because we're usually out trying to provide in most relationships. And then so the woman has raised these kids for 18 to 30 years, depending on how many kids they had or more. And then they become an empty nester, and it's like, what do we do next? And so I think that's one reason why I want to keep it going, is I really feel like it's a place for, some ladies that might be battling some mental health that love to fish or whatever the reason. But I think that's why it's important to keep going. So.
Absolutely.
Awesome. It's an awesome program. I have enjoyed watching it from the moment you took it over.
Yep. And what's crazy is like, I hired, Abby Keeney to go with us on the road, right? And she's now social media director or whatever, and she posts every single day, and she's always making new content, and she's texting me going, hey, I don't have any ideas for today, so we'll bounce ideas off of each other's heads. So she's doing LBAA and K-Guard and all that fun stuff together. I don't have her doing any World Fishing Tour stuff, just because I've been working on the behind the scenes of trying to do something really big. Not Johnny Morris big, but $400 buy-in poker big.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Guys, we're out of time. In fact, we're over.
We are over.
I can't believe it. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. As always, we keep this short and sweet, 30 minutes, painless. Get your updated information. If you have more questions regarding Stong or anything we talked about tonight, just comment below this live. You can always go back and watch the live. There is a new Facebook rule, or whatever, however you want to put it. Live broadcasts only last 30 days now. So watch it within a month. You got a month to watch it, okay?
Watch it before the 2nd of August.
Yeah, you're going to be late
that's
for
true.
the tournament.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, don't forget, August 2nd, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Frank Stong, $50. Bring a boat, bring a cove, fish solo. Donate if you can't show up. We'll see you on the 2nd.
Absolutely.
Bring your wife, bring your girlfriend. Just don't bring them at the same time.
Yeah, and don't listen to Coldplay.
Don't listen to Coldplay.
I'm just messing with you. Just messing with you.
We're out. See you in a couple weeks.
Thanks.
See you guys.
See ya.